I'm on the sofa with Tayub, who is standing for the position of education at our Students' Union. So just to begin with, would you just like to tell us a little bit about yourself? So what are you studying and why are you standing to be the education officer?
I'm studying part-time international human rights law, which is master's level. I'm a postgraduate, and I'm standing for the education officer's position because I believe that there is more to be done for students, not only the home students but also the international students and postgraduate students. So that is the reason why I thought standing up for education officer's position would be a sufficient one and a beneficial one for all range of students rather than just focusing on one particular one.
Okay, so what more do you think needs to be done?
For example, like international students and postgraduate students are normally the group which is left side. They are actually put on the side rather than just focusing on the home students. For example, when I say that, I don't really mean to exclude home students, all of it, absolutely. But all I'm trying to say is that more is to be done to international students. For example, I was once an international student myself. I'm from Malawi, which is Africa, and I came into this country when I was 11.
Oh, that's cool.
And I have faced a lot of barriers, a lot of challenges in terms of language, fitting in, and the atmosphere, the
so
students.
You feel like you've got the experience now to take it up another level?
Yes, indeed, yes. So I thought, plus having studied law as well, I have got my friends who are international students, and they actually do express their concern about how they're finding it difficult because the university does not check on how they're coping. They just say, okay, there are services available, but are they really being looked after? That's the main concern, international students are raising. So, and postgraduates, as being a postgrad myself, I do actually know, what's going on in there as well, which I think needs a lot of attention than it's given now.
Okay. So there's been a considerable decrease in voter turnout over the past year in regards to the Union Council. So it actually decreased 35% from 2014 to 2013. So what makes you think that people actually vote in these elections? Why should people care? Why should people care and be engaged in union politics?
I think union politics is really important because a student union is actually focusing on students. So if students feel a bit left out and disconnected to the union, I think they do need a reminder and reassurity that we are there for you and for your experiences, not only just for fun or parties or anything. Because people have that perception, especially in postgraduate level, they just think like, oh, student union is just there for parties, rather than to make a difference to my education. So I think they do need a reminder and a reassurance that student union is there to actually make a difference rather than just having parties and just chilling out most likely.
So since the start of the election, there's been a decrease in the number of candidates actually standing from 20 to 13, which is a decrease of 35%. So what is your reaction to this, and why is it so? Does it indicate a lack of interest in union politics?
I wouldn't necessarily say lack of interest. It's all about what a person wants to do, because some people may not be aware of the elections happening, or maybe not aware of the actual elections happening in university on what day. I think it's all about informing students. Having the numbers decreased maybe shows that students are actually maybe not knowing or maybe not well informed. Maybe I
do you think we need to educate the voters more about the elections?
Yeah, exactly, because they are voting for someone, they want someone to be in that position. So I think they have the full right to vote for someone who they actually want to vote. Because normally, like even now when I was speaking to some students, they didn't even know the elections are running. They didn't even know, they were so uninformed. So I think a voice and a lot of emails and a lot of talking needs to be taken in. I know this will happen next week, but it's only for a week. Why not before? Do you know what I mean? So
it's quite drastic that 7 candidates actually dropped out.
Yes.
So why would you react to that? Why do you think they dropped out?
Maybe they dropped out because they can't cope, and maybe because they think that they have no chances of winning, or maybe it's something which is adding more pressure to them.
It's quite crucial for our democratic system that we do have as many candidates running for each position as possible. Do you agree?
Yeah, it is agreeable because I think every student has the right to actually nominate themselves and actually stand up. So if a student is actually given reassurance, which the student union does give, however, facing the competition may be so fierce and so daunting, the whole process, that they actually need a friend who to talk to and help them decrease their work. So I think that's where maybe candidates are dropping out because of the pressure.
So would you move the election dates for less pressure?
because it's February now, and students have just done their January exams, and then all drained out and just wanna relax for a bit. And then you have a lot of deadlines coming in as well. I think second semester is a very crucial period for any student. So I think if this campaign could have taken place earlier on in the year, for example in the first year when we start the university, I think more students will be willing to engage, because second semester is too heavy for every student. So I think first semester is a bit relaxed, we just started off, not much pressure. So I think first semester would be a very good opportunity to campaign, and I think we'll have more candidates.
Okay. There are currently 14 sabbatical positions. 5 are being contested this month. Do you not think there are too many positions, and surely this is a conflict of interest and it impedes effective union policy?
Having too many positions does not really affect anything else, because having, like, for example, education officer, LGBT and women's officer, I think these are there to actually divide the work rather than putting the whole load of work onto the one person. So I think having more positions divides the work, delegates the work, and not only just everyone has their own focus, even students know where to go. For example, if they go to student and say, okay, I'm having a problem with my, for example, my ethnicity, or I'm facing something, so they do know where to go. They'll be direct, and then specifically that person will be full attention.
So it's quite clear at the moment where to go.
Yeah, I think more positions, if they are available, it will be better for those unionists, because it makes it stronger, not any weaker. So I think the more the better.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to ask you a question about the education position. So it generally goes that if there is only a handful of core books available on your course, and which have already been taken out of the library by other students, you either have to buy the book or you have to make do without. So hidden course costs are one of the biggest issues facing students today. So how do you plan to deal with this?
I think recently the library did launch something called the order in the book. If the books are unavailable, I think this has come in now, which is a bit of a shame, because it should have been earlier on. But I think I do agree to that, because I'm actually struggling with getting the books as well. I think it is quite a big issue, and cost as well related. But I think placing hold as well quite early, and then I think university is actually looking into it at the moment.
Yeah. So would you campaign for more core texts?
I wouldn't do it, because I do realise that as a postgraduate, how much research we need to do, and undergraduates.
Especially for your dissertation.
Dissertation, I mean, it's like the main thing in your life, and it has to have a lot of resources. So yeah, I would campaign in relation to that.
So I'm just going to move on to ask you a little bit about your manifesto. So just first of all, what is your #1 priority if elected? So what screams vote for Shaz?
Okay, my #1 priority would be obviously the international students. I have actually stated quite clearly in my manifesto. But the proposals I have, it like actually combines home students and international students, because one of my aims is to do some networking events. For example, get the international students, networking with the home students outside the class. So, for example, I will let the course reps know that every month we should be holding a event, where networking event specifically, because it's quite trendy at the moment. So get to know each other. Every month get to know how they're doing, because that would break the ice and break the barriers. Because after the class, no one wants to know each other basically. So I think that event will actually increase more awareness and increase more friendship bonding as well.
Do you feel like networking is a missing part of the education experience?
Could be said, yes, because I think I'm not saying that students don't socialize. I say that they do socialize, but they socialize with their own groups. I think networking will give the opportunity to socialize with other groups as well, like international students, postgrad as well at some point. So I think it's all about mixing in now. It's all about breaking the barriers.
So would you support lecture recordings? Do you think that's a barrier that students face?
Lecture recordings is quite a good idea, to be honest, because I've been to a university where my lectures were recorded. So I actually found it really useful when I missed some of the lectures, when I had exams and assignments. So it was a really good idea to go back and just click and you can hear it.
Just out of pure interest, with the university you went to with the lecture recordings, did less students attend those lectures?
Less uni students?
No, did less students attend those lectures rather than, so say if they're online, a lot of people say it encourages people not to go to the lecture because they're online. Why would you go? Was that the case?
Yes, could be
was
said.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
No. How can I put it? They were like the exam refresher sessions.
Refreshers.
Yeah, so it was like the teachers were going through the syllabus and exam questions. So it was something very external to what we actually learn in class. So basically, it was like a examination refresher thing. So it was quite in the morning. At first, there were so many students, but once they found the recordings as well, so it did actually decrease. I won't deny that. But yeah, I will actually support in relation to it because as being a part-time student, I work as well. So say for example, I get full-time jobs, I can actually catch up. So it will be a advantage for distance learning students, maybe for people starting in January as well to catch up. So I think it will be a good tool.
Okay. So if your main aim is to improve the experience of international students at the university, do you not think you should have ran for the position of engagement and included international students in a scheme to improve the experience of underrepresented groups?
Yeah, that was an option as well, but I actually thought that education officer is more...
Is that more you, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what interested me more, so that's why I applied for it. I thought, education is all about your degree and your experiences at university, and, they will be cherished for many years to come to your family, friends, and, your children or generations. So I think it's all about the experience and your education itself. So you can't just say, oh, I just went to university for a degree. You said, okay, I actually got a very good experience, and this is why I did.
This is why we're here.
That's why we're here, yeah.
Okay, so just one final question. So in your manifesto, you talk a lot about international students and postgraduates. What are your ideas and plans to improve the education experience of undergraduate students who are in their first, second and third year?
Being an undergraduate student myself in the past, I do understand that it's quite hard to settle in when I just start, because it's quite hard to socialize as well at some point. So I think providing for first, second and third year, I think first year is very crucial. I think first year is where you actually set your feet in the university, you see yourself where you're standing. And I think having the networking opportunities and avoiding feeling homesick and promoting cultural diversity and improving their structure as well and helping them.
So would you expand those to undergraduate students?
Yes, indeed. It's open to everyone though, to be honest, because maybe my manifesto did not be more specific, but that's the whole idea. It's for everyone basically. Okay. But maybe I wasn't really clear enough.
No, it's okay. You can clarify it now.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, well that's it. So thank you very much, Shaz.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.